Welcome back to the rundown. Israeli elections are behind us, but as I said, the tough part now comes forming a government, and that process already underway. Well, joining us in studio, still with us, though, is Michael Kleiner, president of the Likud Party Supreme Court and former parliament member for Likud, Jeremy Saltan, director of English operations for Naftali Bennett's Yamina Party, and joining us now, Professor Yossi Yona, former Israeli parliament member for the Labour Party. And Yossi, I'm glad you're here because these two gentlemen discounted the possibility of a government headed by Yair Lapid of Yesh Atid.
Not Jeremy. Jeremy said it's a possibility.
No, he did not.
I said that neither of you have the possibility to form. To be fair,
so let me get Yossi's.
Well, I don't know. You know, I'm afraid of being a prophet here. Though my name is Yona. You know, so it is running into a very, a big danger.
Nobody will swallow you here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay, exactly. No, the prophet himself, as you know, ran away when he was asked to
but we have you here.
Come up with his prophecy. I don't know. I mean, what's the likelihood that the government, any government, going to be formed following this election? It seems that we're on standstill, and nothing much has changed. And it takes some kind of a miracle. On the one hand, you might say miracle. On the other hand, you might say maybe some maturity on part of some of the politicians saying, well, look, I mean, this is indeed a high-order challenge. We cannot allow Israel to go into fifth elections, and we've got to do the impossible. So what would be the impossible? Of course, I'm sure that you have examined the possibilities put on the table, either a government led by Yair Lapid with all the difficulties having to do with that, and of course, maybe a better chance is that Bennett would lead a government. Unfortunately, I've been following the news, and it seems that ego considerations are actually playing a very a major role and the negotiations taking part of it. And so I think that they have to live up to their credo. What I mean by that was that we're all loyal, we're very anxious, caring for the future of this country, and we should not go into fifth election. And nonetheless, it seems that they're not making the sufficient efforts to get us out of the bind, in which not just the politics, but Israel itself is being, kind of.
I just want to note that the leader of your party, or former party, Labour, Mirav Michaeli, sat in the studio and said she did not discount the possibility of sitting in a government headed by the right-wing Naftali Bennett and Gideon Sa'ar.
Yeah, that's what she said, and I think that she was actually true to her word, to her words, meaning that if a possibility comes up, that is, that it is likely, and that the other parts of the Lego, let's put it that way, are willing to go into such a move, she would be willing to do that. The way that they think about it, and I think that the parties as well, and the right wing and the left wing, saying, well, the major problem for us is Benjamin Netanyahu. And it is indeed, this is the case. What I mean by that, just think about the situation, the paradox. The right wing actually won the elections. I mean, they have about, 70 seats in the parliament out of 120. So the right wing won the election. Israel is more and more kind of moving towards the right, and yet
it's always nice when the left admits.
Because you're raising the point. I do want to go to Michael on this, because we have to ask him in the studio.
Reading the numbers.
This is now the fourth election where Benjamin Netanyahu has been unable, or appears unable, to form a government or form a stable government. At what point does the Likud start thinking that we could be forming the government without Benjamin Netanyahu?
And second election, blue and white had 1 or 2 mandates more than Likud, and say we won the election regardless what is the bloc. We got a seat or 2 more, so we won the election. Netanyahu got 36, the next party got 17, so Netanyahu can legitimately say he won the election. He is the one who should try to form a government. I believe we don't give enough emphasis to the change in the Arab society. I believe that speaking about the Arab list is shameful, because there is a substantial change in the Arab society. What the Arab United List did is, in historical terms, because they came to the public before the election, said we are going to join any coalition, including a Likud coalition, which was never said there before. It is, and they got the public support. They didn't come after the election. They came before the election, and they have a tendency to go with the Likud. And I believe the Likud should answer to this challenge.
Well,
I'm sure that at the end of the day, Bennett, and maybe because of this, even Saar, or maybe also Gantz, will join this government.
Then I have to ask you, Jeremy, you hear the representative here of the Likud saying they're ready to accept the support of an Arab party, of Ram, this party.
An Arab party that is ready to accept us.
So why wouldn't Naftali Bennett as prime minister be willing to make that point?
We have no problems at all with Israeli Arab citizens. You know, and again, me in my position, I do a lot of things for the residents of Abu Ghosh in my position in regional government. But the idea that the party that is led by the Muslim Brotherhood branch here in Israel would be a full-fledged member of a coalition in the state of Israel.
But if Benjamin,
being a part of Israeli society and joining a right-wing government.
Michael, we're friends for a long time. You know, I remember what you had to say about Morsi.
And you know my views.
Exactly. I know your views very well.
They didn't change.
I remember what you said about Morsi, you know, leading Egypt. And now I'm looking at what you're suggesting about the Muslim Brotherhood being a part of it.
I would have said it 2 years ago when they were anti-anything Zionist, when they said that they want the right of return, when they said that they're against the basic law, the Chok HaLeom. Today they even don't want to change
I want to go to Yossi now as a student of political history in Israel. Listen to this, a member of the Likud talking about support of an Israeli Arab party, maybe even bringing it to government. That is surely a hugely significant development.
This is an important point that you are making here. I don't know what going to be the result, but I think that it is indeed a revolutionary moment in the political history of Israel. That and no matter what are the reasons. No matter what are the reasons, we're talking about the result that Benjamin Netanyahu and the Likud actually, and I'm very happy about that. Don't be mistaken about that. That the Likud party and Benjamin Netanyahu himself, that is responsible for the investigation against the Arabs, comes and says, "Well, look, I see the Arab-Israeli political parties a legitimate and integral part of the Israeli political system and Israeli society."
No, this party, not the parties. This party that changed the attitude.
But at the end of the day, maybe even, that I'm very glad for things.
If tomorrow Ahmed Oda will declare the same, he's also accepted.
I'm an Oda.
Wonderful.
Also,
I'm an Oda.
But I dare say that nonetheless, there is a shift and positions, and I'm celebrating them, and I want to applaud you. So don't miss it. I'm not objecting to what
I'm
sure.
Sure.
And again, I think that we're missing the main point that I was mentioning before. Hey guys, and Michael, listen to that. You know that all these bargaining things is not about now right and left. It is about Netanyahu. And if Netanyahu would step down, and say, okay, guys,
But the public wants him.
No, the public doesn't want him.
He gave us a vaccine. He saved our people. Look what's happening in Europe.
Michael, you have 70 seats in the parliament that are against Netanyahu, including right-wing parties.
First of all, Yamina said that they are ready to accept him. They never disqualify him like the others, and they will join if he can form a government.
Look, if Bennett,
he will not deny it.
If Bennett would be willing to see Netanyahu as a prime minister that already being formed a coalition government, you know that.
We paid a price.
Last point, quickly, Jeremy.
We paid a price for not saying we would recommend Netanyahu. We're not about to go ahead and do so tonight.
Maybe you also paid the price for not saying that you want to recommend.
Gentlemen, we will have to leave it at that. Lots more politics to come in the coming days. Clearly, Jeremy Saltan, Michael Kleiner, Professor Yossi Yona, thank you for joining us.